Personally, I wouldn't be able to because if you're working minimum wage and I'm making way more than you, how are we going to build a life? I mean, you have to be on my level because we've done that. I think.
Prove my point. There you go.
But why not?
Babysitter.
Let's walk cleverly on the beat.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Jonathan Elias, and we are the African Millennials, and you are tuning in to a new episode. Woo! Yeah. All right. The gorgeous Jarrell, can you please read the topic for today?
I have a feeling we got a good one in the store.
Looks like you're dressed for the part.
All right. Dear AMs, are successful women arrogant and impossible to be loved?
Spicy.
All right.
I like this one.
Let me start off with this one.
I like this one.
This one's gonna be
ready,
spicy.
guys?
Here's what it is.
All right, break it down.
Y'all ready?
We ready?
Yes.
Best believe.
Yes. The answer is yes.
The answer is what?
The answer is yes, but with reason. Women have to go through a lot to be successful. It's a lot harder for women to be in like a successful position, which makes sense. It's perfect. They go through a lot of conditions that hold them back. Wait, before you get jumpy.
She's ready.
But there's a level of arrogance that comes with it because of how hard they work to get to that position. Now, their arrogance may hold them back from finding, someone of equal or someone to love them. And, it's like a lot of dudes don't want to be, as weak as it sounds, a lot of dudes don't want to be with a woman who's like more successful than
So
them.
you put the word in there for us, which is weak.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Are you saying that men are weak and they
I didn't
can't
say that.
handle
I didn't say that.
a successful woman?
I didn't say that. Wait, I didn't even say the word. I didn't even say the word. I said strong.
I heard weak.
Y'all
That's your fault. See, this is exactly what we're talking about. So this
You switching my words.
Right.
All right. Let me tell you what the problem. Let me tell you what the problem is. When you throw a word in, you're changing the meaning of what I'm really trying to say. I'm trying to say that they fit, that's how they feel. That's not the situation. That's not the reality.
But why does she have to be arrogant?
Yeah,
Why
I
can't she just be
I should be asking a woman why she has to be arrogant.
No,
I should be asking her
I'm
why.
asking
about the
you
wrong word,
because
yeah.
if there's this Oprah Winfrey,
Yes.
would you consider her arrogant?
I never met her. I don't know.
Why can't
So this is the thing. Listen.
I'm talking about like
this is the
personal-
difference. This is the difference between Oprah Winfrey and the millions of other successful
Okay, take your
women.
average
all right?
successable woman
An
then.
average
Thank you.
successful,
arrogance?
absolutely. And this is the thing. You got okay. Who?
Go ahead.
But y'all successful women are socialized to date up. So you guys want a man who will be the head of the household, who will be the breadwinner, who will still be that male dominant figure while you guys also have that same status. The thing is, 90%, 99% of successful men don't want to deal with other successful, intelligent women.
Why?
That's
Where's
true.
the
That's
arrogance?
not true.
No,
So-
my issue is with
That's
the
not
word
true.
arrogance.
Okay, but
Where's the
we're
word?
also saying why y'all are single.
Jared, do you think that's true?
What do you mean y'all are single?
Hold up. Check
I
this
mean,
out.
A lot of successful women are in amazing
That's a lie.
relationships with strong men who aren't so don't have such a big ego
insecurity.
that they can handle
this
a woman.
This wouldn't be an issue then.
a
This
woman-
wouldn't be a topic if that was the case.
A
That's
woman
not the
making
case.
more money than him.
That's not the case. And I'm not saying
Why
that
does she have to be arrogant
but-
though?
because
I said it's with reason.
I think it's a certain air. It's a certain air that you guys give off. It's an aggressive,
Aggressive?
it's very aggressive. I had to work to get here. So like I feel like women, if you
Wouldn't you want to do that anyway for any woman to work to get her love?
I think I would. But what men naturally look, men say they want an intelligent woman. They say that. But
Okay.
in all actuality and
They
reality, they don't. I believe that men think that they want a strong, intelligent woman until it's really put in front of them. When it's put in front of them, that the whole thing changes. It's like, oof, this ain't what I'm used to, brother. You know what I mean? So it's an unfortunate thing because, strong women are amazing. I know my mom to be a strong woman. So I would think that's what I want. But, most men, when it's put in front of them, they want to keep that status.
And that is unfortunate
Wow.
because there's
I said not me.
The truth comes out.
There's actual research with you saying that
Exactly.
unfortunately men want a certain outlook of a woman, but then internally it's totally different. 105 men were researched by researcher Laura Park.
Okay,
they
good.
found that when they took an intelligence test, the researcher says there's a woman down the hallway that beat you in that intelligence test. The majority of those 105 men, once they heard that, they'd rather want the woman that didn't beat them. In that intelligence, as a romantic
See,
partner.
that's what we would
and
want.
that is,
We're
that
not
is
speaking about
unfortunate.
us personally. We're telling you
Yes,
guys,
I
we're
understand.
talking.
That's
I
what
think
she. That's
I
what
think
she
that the issue
said.
is not the woman then.
Whatever.
I don't think the issue is the woman then.
Right.
I
That's
think
my
the
question
issue
is
here-
still why is she arrogant? You just said you want.
I think
I'm
that-
answering.
I think-
Hold on,
give me
I'm
a
gonna answer
second. I think that the issue here is probably, most likely, that men are just the arrogant ones who can't deal with women who are
Ego.
successful.
I agree with that.
Because the thing is that
Fragile
a woman,
ego.
this is the thing about women, because if a woman who is, let's say, more intelligent, let's say, than a specific man, would understand how a man who's very egotistic would act. So she would understand that there's certain things that I can't say to this guy because I'm gonna hurt his feelings.
Women are really
Like
powerful
we're
and
very,
smart that
like
way.
we're very perceptive
We have to
of
walk
that.
on
Yeah.
eggshells.
And we're
all
always
the time.
walking on them.
Yeah.
But when it
Whoa.
comes around the other
wanna talk
way,
about
it's like,
eggshells?
nah, she's too arrogant. She thinks she's better than me.
I think guys work on eggshells.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I like to find a common ground. And I've dated women with a certain status, larger than mine. So it's to my understanding that having these conversations, like they would state, well, listen, when I got to this certain place, I was humble. I gave guys chances. I gave the hood guy with no ambition chance. I gave this guy a chance. Hold on,
It's not settling.
hold on. She tried to be humble in her approach. And so now it's like, well, no, I want to get what I deserve. So I understand that with women. I just don't think that you should generalize everyone in the same category as to someone who is a protected
I
But-
look at the
but-
difference between arrogance and confidence, though. Like,
That's-
why
No, there
is
is a
it that
difference.
why
There is a
is it
difference.
that a woman who is successful, powerful,
Is arrogant.
confident in herself and her abilities is seen as arrogant?
Because
Because
you
the way that the
because
masculine...
she's a woman.
Yeah,
You're looking
there's
at
the
her
way
as
that
a-
are
oh, you
masculine.
can't
No,
do this
you
way,
look
you
down-
can't be like that because
That
you're-
successful women
you gotta
look
know your
down on
place.
men that have a lower status and lower class. All right. So
That's
when
not
and when you're
So
saying
wait, what
something,
did you
I disagree though.
no,
I
why?
disagree.
I
look down on
disagree.
somebody who has
No, because
If you're
because
up
how
there-
about if that
I
man
can't
is
do that to
trying?
someone. I can't.
How about if that man is trying?
Well,
so you're
then now
saying
that's a
wait, you're saying that's settling to go down to like that's what I feel like
Not
more
down to even
successful
date someone with a lower.
date somebody.
So-
this is what
Jonathan,
women successful.
so
This is what
what?
successful.
There's definitely a difference between arrogance and confidence. I mean, I think there's a total misconception that women that make it to a certain place in their lives, that are successful, that have everything that they want and need, are arrogant. And I don't think that's the case. I think they're confident. But just because they're women, they're seen as arrogant. And I think there's a total double standard in that. That's not right.
What women need to get in their head.
Oh,
Absolutely,
like that.
absolutely.
Like
Because
that.
we're gonna
All
go,
right.
we're gonna get down
Okay.
and dirty, right? What women
Okay.
need to get in their head is dating a man with lower status, a lower class, is not settling. Settling is putting yourself second. Eventually, essentially
that
putting
is
yourself.
putting
That
yourself
is not
second.
because
Yes, it is. Yes, it
you're
is.
dating a man who sees you as first, who supports you as a successful
always.
woman.
See that?
Listen,
This is-
if
Go ahead.
Can I
Go
finish?
ahead.
No.
So if you're dating a man who does not see you first, that is essentially putting yourself second. If you date a man who has a lower class, who might not be as successful as you, but always sees you as the number one black queen, then that is not settling.
Jonathan, of course,
that's
there's
not-
always exceptions
but
to the
not all
rules.
guys
But
do
as a
that.
generalized statement, all of us want to do better in our lives. You have kids, you want your kids to do better in
Yes.
life. Okay? And some of the times, yes, that's going to mean trying to uplift yourself, uplift your economic situation,
Level up.
your social economic situation. And what's
Level
wrong with that?
Right.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with
There's
wanting
nothing
better
wrong
for
with that, but if
myself?
you can't
She's
find it,
also wanting
don't.
better
If you
for
can't
myself.
find it, don't disrespect the men that don't
No,
want
it's
a
disrespecting
successful woman.
anyone.
That's
But
arrogance
don't
right there.
disrespect me and call me names because
Arrogant,
I want
right.
better.
I think
No,
that
I
a lot of
agree.
men. I think that a lot of men. That this is why I'm on kind of the other side of what the majority of men think. Men, a lot of men need to get in their head that, I mean, yo, brother, just because a woman is more successful than you, that should
should
be
be happy.
a turn on
Right.
the equal playing field.
Exactly.
I'm the type of man. When I get a wife, I'm going to be taken. If she has, a 1 week business trip that she has to go to, and I somehow have the time to take care of the kids, cook for the
Right.
kids, I'm going to do what is, stereotypically what the wife should do, cooking, the taking care of the kids.
helping
I
her.
don't care. I don't
But
care.
but-
I find a woman being able to take care of me and showing that love to me extremely sexy, and it's something that I want in a woman. But then I want to do the same for her. And my thing is, with any relationship, it should be level playing field, 50-50. What I'm gonna do for you, you're gonna do for me because I love you. And I'm gonna show that love through all the things that I do for you. That's just how I feel. That type of
But do you
man.
understand how much love that your wife would give you and appreciate you? The fact, like, you would be the happiest man ever.
Happy
A
wife,
lot of
happy
men don't
life.
right.
And
A lot of
interestingly
men don't
enough, I
understand
talked
that.
to my mom specifically about this. Weirdly, within the African culture, they still are in that stereotypical, like, the woman
Subservient
is the
woman.
cleans, the woman that,
Yeah.
takes care.
I
Cody,
cannot.
what? They were basically still on that stereotypical level that, Cody, you're supposed to be the provider of the household. Specifically, my mom, I love them to death. They are about equal rights, within that, but they're still in that ancient kind of, you have to be the provider, Cody. But I'm like, Mom, Dad, if my wife is making more money than me, so what?
You're in a home. It's
I
two
think
people.
It's two
team.
people.
It doesn't matter.
It's a
Can I
team.
comment to
That's
what
what
Cody
I
said?
believe.
As
gotta
a
test y'all
traditional
girls real quick.
feminist, I do believe in gender roles. I do believe that there are certain things that men and women are individually good at doing. But in today's society, in the efforts of being equal, I do think that those roles can become intertwined, and that women can sometimes be the providers, and that men can sometimes be the homemakers, and that we
And
live
if you're
in
in
that
a
society
committed,
where
and
we
if you're in a
can-
committed
we can
relationship,
intertwine that. But the mentality where it's like, oh, and my friend just got married, and I nearly threw up in my mouth when she told me that, oh, I have to ask my husband because he's the head of my household. I was like,
And he
I was
likes
like-
that. And
I
he
was like,
likes
who
that.
are
But
you?
wait, but
I
wait.
literally stopped talking to her.
Wait, no.
I stopped talking to
Not
her.
an ego. That was not an ego.
That's how you were brought up.
Yeah, that's
what
the
you
way they
saw.
were brought up.
Exactly.
And vice versa.
Wait,
Wait,
but
but
does
that mean
but
it's
wait,
right?
wait,
Said you
wait,
like
no,
that?
Y'all
No,
missing
not
something.
me.
Y'all
Does
missing
that
something.
mean
Y'all
it's
missing something.
right?
Most married couples don't do nothing. I mean, they don't do anything without communicating with each other.
That's
That's
okay.
equal.
That's fine.
Yes,
equal.
and I know
That's
I've seen
equal.
it. I've seen it.
I'm not coming to you for
Listen,
permission.
listen. I know
I'm not
a
coming
lot.
to you for no.
So wait.
We can
Y'all missing
we
something.
can
Y'all missing.
discuss.
Y'all missing something. Y'all miss a lot of things. Y'all miscommunicate a lot of things men do.
Always missing something.
Wait. Relax. Chill. Y'all miscommunicate a lot of things men do for ego, masculinity, misogynist. Sometimes that's not where it's coming from. If I say to my wife, listen, before you do this, let me know.
But what about you when you want to do something?
It's a vice versa thing.
All
If I
right.
say,
That's
let
fine.
me know, tell me, don't do this without consulting me.
That's
I'm
fine.
being dead ass.
As long as
It's
it's
not about a
equal.
control. Yes, and it's
As long
vice
as it's
versa.
equal. But what she's saying is that the wife has to ask permission from the husband.
So it's vice versa
Right.
too. It's probably vice versa
so what
too.
y'all-
He
what
probably
y'all-
can't do shit without.
If
I
he's
don't
the
know about all
bread,
of that
if he's
because
the
she
But
was
you don't
like-
know. See,
she
that's
was
what I'm
like,
saying.
What y'all
no,
ladies
that's not-
think?
There's nothing wrong with, asking for permission. Like when people hear the word permission, they think of it as like a negative enslavement or like an authority taking over. It's just simple, like, yo, listen, I'm consulting my husband before I'm doing something. Just like it's vice versa. A lot of dudes, like my cousin, he was saying, all right, let me talk to my wife first before I make this move. There's nothing wrong with it at all. It's just that I guess men, we have a negative stamp on us that we're always trying to be controlling, or we're always, sometimes, a lot of times it may not even be that. It's just, listen, I don't want you we're married. It's a teamwork. We're joints. Everything is joint between us. I don't want you to do certain things without telling me, and I'm gonna stand by that. Vice versa. I'm not gonna do certain things without telling my wife. That's just how I see it.
What do y'all ladies think about the submissive wife then? What do you feel about them?
Well, I think as a strong, independent woman, my mom came to this country alone, and she came here to have a better opportunity and for her kids, and it would be bad if I ended up doing the same thing that they do back home, being submissive. All my aunties got married at 16, and they're still with their men. That's the only thing that they know.
So are you saying that holds women back?
That
being
holds
that submissive
absolutely,
woman?
absolutely. From understanding, excuse me one second. From understanding what do they like in men. What do they like in life? What do they limiting their education levels, limiting all this stuff? Like you have to be home. Yes, don't get me wrong. I'll cook, I'll clean, I'll lay you out, all that stuff. No problem.
I think
submission fully is too
necessary.
much. Me personally, I know what I could bring to the table. I know I could provide for my family. I could cook, clean, lay you out, everything. So I just want to make sure that the man that I be with, he needs to earn that. He needs to let me know that I could be able to do that for him, and he doesn't turn that against me or make me feel any less of a woman than I am. Lay you out means, having fun, intimately, sexually.
I think submission is necessary in a marriage or in a committed relationship. But hear me out.
Bedroom.
Y'all want to go there? We agree on that.
That too.
Nowhere else.
I do believe in submission. I believe that submission should be done in the bedroom and nowhere else. It's the only place that it's called for. Everywhere else, the workplace, life, family life, no, you're not going to find me in a submissive position.
Yes. I mean, Jarrell was talking about submission. I mean, I don't really submit, so...
I think it's necessary, but the man has to submit to the wife too. Y'all forget that. Y'all forget that. You want a submissive wife,
I don't
but
see
you
a successful
won't
woman
submit.
submissing. I don't see a successful
but y'all
woman
don't see it.
submissing.
Like how? Please give me an example.
Men do it. Like we do. Like there's a lot of times that.
Men do it.
What? How?
They do.
They do.
Can I? Yeah, y'all keep asking how. I'm trying to throw in the how.
Let my man talk.
If you train your man well enough, he will submit.
You said what?
What? Oh yes, let's get it.
You said what?
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
I said if you've trained your man
Listen.
well
Wait.
enough,
Say it loud and clear. No,
I said
I want to say it loud and clear.
if you have trained your man well enough, he will submit.
If you have to train your man, he's not a man.
No.
How about that?
That's
Let's go
facts.
that. You need to look at who you're dealing with. Look who
That's
you're dealing with.
How to train a man 101. No, I'm kidding, guys. Like, it's really just about sitting down with your partner, getting on the same page about what you each really want and need from the other person, and following through. Yeah, when I say train a man, it might come off as like derogatory, but it's really just about, saying, hey, this is what I want, this is what I need. Can you do that?
I mean, I don't know what what type of the men Jarrell wants to deal with, but this is to all women. If you have to train a man, he's not a man. Like, you shouldn't have to train a man. You shouldn't have to, y'all girls love projects. Why y'all like projects so much? Like, go get yourself a fix, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let me build them up. Because at the end of the day, it's just about you and just about building your ego. That's why you want to build them up to be like, yeah, I built that, I made you. No. Like, if you got to fix him, if you got to train him, that's not a man. Like, no, you don't train a man. Like, he's not a dog. Because if I came out and say, yo, I gotta train this woman to cook and clean, I sound crazy, right? I'm gonna sound crazy, right?
There's another word than submit. There's a better word than submit.
Compromise.
Compromise. Yes, I said train, but really what it is sitting down with someone you love and saying, hey, this is what I need from this relationship. This is how, and talking about
each other's
it and getting to know each other and communicating and being open and honest.
And in addition to that, I think it's healthy to look at, whether you're in a heterosexual or homosexual relationship, I think it's healthy to look at your partner as a human being, not like, let's say I have a husband, not look at him as that's a man and he has to do man things. I think it's important to just be like, okay, we're married.
Right.
But we're
talking about what it should be, but it's not realistic.
no,
Women
but
do that
I
a
think
lot to men,
when
though.
let's say we're married, okay, I bring this much to the table, you bring this much to the table. If I have to do 60% and you got to do 40 to make this work, let's do it. But I don't think like why should the man be the breadwinner? Or if I have to do 80% and he does 20, why am I arrogant or why am I looked at?
You have to be man enough
because that's
to
not
let
realistic.
that.
If a man provides for the household and a woman doesn't provide as much as him, he's not labeled as arrogant. As a matter of fact, I don't think he's labeled as anything. People don't say anything about that. But when the tables are turned and it's the woman being more successful, she's arrogant.
You have to be secure as a man with yourself. Men out there, if you're not
And that's what
secure,
I'm
it's gonna
saying.
show.
Doesn't it have to do with toxic masculinity?
Wait, hold on. No.
Because you have to be a man.
No. Wait.
Y'all want that man.
Listen.
Like-
Yes, y'all do.
Y'all do.
This is what y'all look for. Let me ask y'all something. If a dude comes up to you right now, he's working, he's making like the minimum wage. He comes up to you, he wants to pursue you, he wants something real with you. You're not even like, I want y'all to be 100% honest. You're making way more than this guy. You drive a car. He takes the bus. He lives with his mom, but he's working. He's struggling. He's trying to get to the top.
How big is he?
What does that have to do
You
with
said what?
my arrogance?
That's
penis?
story.
He's packing. He's packing. Okay. He's packing. He's Nigerian. Okay. He's I thought you were Nigerian.
I'm 12% Nigerian. But
That's what I'm trying to say. You need that.
I felt like it was a misrepresentation. You know, I felt like I got played on the low. You know, like we need to represent, you know, because a brother ain't got no problem going on down there. You know what I'm saying? I ain't Nigerian, but look, you know, I ain't getting no complaints.
But back to the question.
I think that would be the only thing I would compromise because, you know, if he's really good in
But
bed.
would you actually want to create an
No.
actual relationship with them?
What
Why
about
not?
the effort is there?
It's gonna be bullshit off to me.
For me, it depends. Completely.
you.
And I'm coming from now a religious background because I don't know if you guys know of much of Islam, but in our religion of Islam, the Prophet ﷺ, Muhammad, his first wife made way more money than him, and not only that, he worked for her.
Yeah.
She was the one who proposed to him, and she proposed to him because of his character. So me for myself, speaking for myself, I guess before other women, I always look at character first. He could be working in McDonald's, but if I see that he goes around the counter to help someone who's fallen and can't get up by themselves, and he's just being a great individual, great human being, I'm gonna look at that more than his attire and what he's doing. Other than that, but that's from
dominant too.
That's from my perspective.
Do you
you
feel
know?
like majority women do that though?
It's hard for me to say that because
They don't.
it's hard for me to say
But
that because I come from a Muslim community. So
Outside of your community, do you feel like?
I don't know, to be honest. It's kind of a funny story because of how life is now and how society works now, where if a woman tries to approach a man for marriage, it seemed like, oh my God. When in reality, in our religion, the woman asks the prophet to marry her because she saw his character, who he was as a person, and which goes into with what I was saying before. Like, I see it like that as well. If he's showing me that he's determined, that he's a hardworking person, he's a good man and honest and treats others with respect, I'm gonna value that more than what he has in his bank account currently. I can't say yes or no for that one.
Here's the reason. Sometimes you can be a great guy. It's awesome, but character sometimes is not enough. If we are looking to build a life together,
You want him?
I
you want
can't.
him- you want him-
But wait. I can't
He's trying to build for
personally.
himself.
Yes, but then now I'm waiting for your potential. Why? Personally, I wouldn't be able to because if you're working minimum wage and I'm making way more than you, how are we going to build a life? I mean, you have to be on my level because we've done that. I
Prove
think.
my point.
There you go.
But why not?
Babysitter.
There you go.
Why
Not
not?
necessarily.
What she wants.
Not
So what's
necessarily.
the difference?
I don't see it
What's
that
the
way.
difference with the
If
man?
we're
Listen,
looking to
wait,
build
listen,
a life,
listen.
if we're
Okay,
looking to
can I
build
finish?
together,
Can
I can't
finish?
work with you if
What's
you're
the
making
difference
minimum
between
wage and
the
I'm
man
making.
making that money and the woman making minimum wage, and they still building a life?
We about equal rights, right?
Because hold up.
No, please, please. What is the
Okay,
difference?
here's the difference.
Because men are.
Please,
Here-
because
Go ahead.
I don't know, but I'm gonna tell you what I think.
Arrogance.
I don't think it's arrogance.
Yes.
It's not
Back to what we were
arrogance.
saying, it's
You want a
arrogance.
submissive wife?
It's men
it's
wanting
okay,
the submission.
but here's the thing.
It's men
because-
wanting to dominate and
Right.
submit.
That's what
Make
I'm
women
saying.
submissive.
He's
And that's why that's
it's not
okay
dominant.
with you.
I said that
That's
the
why
man-
it's
he said
okay
that
to
the
not
man is
be
you.
with someone who's on your
He
level.
said the
Because you
man
want
is-
the woman to
the
be
man
lower
has
than you.
minimum
You
wage,
want her to
and
be
he's
less than
pursuing
you.
you.
That's
But
what
you
you
said-
want.
Y'all missing the point.
That's what you
Y'all
That's
missing
not the point of this
He's
one, though.
pursuing you,
He's
but
the
he
broke
knows
one.
you have
I'm,
more than him.
I'm talking about Jonathan's point
Yeah,
about
the way-
men
why do men-
dating
Time out.
a social class lower than their own because that's what they
I
want.
feel like
They
I-
want to
this-
be big
Why?
machismo, macho
No,
men.
it could be,
With this
no,
woman
it
that's
could be the
making less
situation.
money
I go up
you.
to a girl,
So
I
you
meet
can
you.
control
I don't know
her.
what your status is.
Right,
I don't
that's
know
what
if you're
you
rich or poor. I come up to a random girl. It's not because I say, oh, I know that she's submissive, I'm gonna go up to her. I go up to a random girl, I meet you, we date, find out you have a minimum wage job, I'm making bank. It's okay, baby. We're gonna make it.
Why is
Why
that
can't
okay?
it be the
Why,
same?
It's not
Because
the
you wanna
same. But why,
control her.
why is that okay for you?
Yeah, I think Jonathan was, he was not being cooperative. And, I don't respond well to that kind of behavior. You need to know your place, sir.
My issue with Jonathan is that he makes it seem like all successful women are arrogant, and we're not. We just know what we want, the same as successful men. Like, I wish people would see that as equal. I wish you would see successful women and successful men as equal. Why is it okay for a woman who makes more money than a man for her to be arrogant, but then when a man makes more money than a woman, that's okay, that's normal, that's regular, that's what you guys look for?
It's not what.
Is he arrogant?
Who said that's what men look for? Like, it's not saying
You
that.
said that earlier. You said women.
Yes, you did.
you said
Yes,
you
you
look
did.
for women
We don't,
who are
but we don't actually go
maybe-
out and say, "Hey,
maybe-
she looks
you're not
like
gonna
she's strong."
say it.
She look,
Well,
but
you're
that's
not gonna-
going out to look for it.
You're
Well,
not gonna-
our preference,
you're not
what
gonna
men's
look for
preference.
something.
You
I
just
say
said
what
that
I say
a
what
lot of men
I say what their
prefer a weaker
preference.
woman. You
What
said
their
that.
preference is. Their preference is not a weaker woman, a woman who's gonna just like
Okay,
maybe
now
their
wait
mother.
again. Now
They
wait.
would
Say that
submit.
again.
So you guys, if we have to remember within the research, this shows that
Right.
men say
Weak.
one thing,
not weak.
but their actions speak another.
Exactly.
They would rather.
They're looking. They think they're
They-
looking
they
for a
think
strong,
they're-
intelligent woman.
That's why you want
why
a
I
woman
said-
that
but
makes
their
less than you, so
preference,
you can
their
dominate
preference
her.
and looking are two different things.
If my preference is to have a man on the same level or above, why is that?
There is no
why
issue with
why
that.
am I arrogant?
There is, the arrogance come for the man that's under you, the man with the lower class, the one that's struggling to actually make it, who still sees you as number one, and you look down on him. That's
I
where
don't
the
look
arrogance
down on him.
comes. You just said you
No.
would not,
You
you
were
wouldn't
being-
date them.
But that
You
does
wouldn't
that
give
mean
them.
I'm
Guys,
looking
guys,
down on him? That
guys,
just means
but-
that's my preference.
Most
That was
women
that's
would.
the key
Most
word.
women say, "Oh, it's a broke nigga,
No.
but he got good dick." Like
I really want
Okay.
100%
Exactly. Look at that smile.
You gotta
That's what it is.
But
Saying that it's a broke, saying it's a
But
broke
I'm
nigga
going
is
to
already
But
Those-
she's not. But yeah, I don't think.
getting in a
That's
relationship
what I'm
with
saying.
him.
That's what I'm
Oh, so
saying.
you're
That's
using him just for sex?
Yes.
We
Yes.
don't
You
use
guys
that.
do that
all the time.
Okay, so don't call us fuckboys, don't call us ain't shit niggas.
when a man says that he wants a certain woman, but then his behaviors and actions say another thing, I am linking that to the actual research that's been done on, men that really say one thing, but they behave and act differently. Guys, when we're looking at men versus women, we're looking at men believe that they want one thing in a woman, but then their actions and their internal behaviors and thoughts speak another. But I do want to put into this question, what about effort vice versa, if a man had a lower income or if the woman had a lower income, what about if they're putting effort maybe to go back to school? Hey, baby, I'm going to put in
Now,
work.
that's
You don't want
And
that.
then,
Look at Jarrell.
No, my heart is split. That's
and then also look at what if that woman who has the lower income is super attractive to you, and vice versa with the man. Looking at attractiveness, would you rather have somebody who's damn hot, who is not making as much? Would that be a bigger aspect to you, the physical
Personally,
aspect?
that doesn't matter to me. What matters
Looks fake.
is your level, your mental level. Because let's be honest, in order to be successful, you have to be mentally strong. You have to be, independent. That
Mentally strong.
matters more. So I really
But a
couldn't
man
care.
could be mentally strong, but not be at that level.
Yeah.
Of
And that's
Yes.
what I'm saying. I can't
Yes.
wait for that potential. When you
you
get
should
there,
be.
call me.
One second.
I'm not waiting for you.
Hold on.
When you get there, call me.
Arrogant.
Hold on.
What I meant by when you get there, call me is I don't see the point in wasting time. I feel like waiting for a man's potential is wasting time. Point blank, period. I open to dating you if you make less money than me. I don't think there's an issue with that. But within the next few months, a year at most, if I see that you're not gonna ever get to my level, I don't think I should waste my time. I think it's a preference thing, but I don't think I'm being arrogant, and I don't think I'm being wrong for stating my preference. That's just, I don't appreciate it.
Meet me when you're there. Meet me when you're there. Does that sound positive? Does that sound like something that me, a person who is trying to treat you as a beautiful black queen, treat you like you want to be treated as? You want to be put on this pedestal? I'll give that to you. But no, F that. Meet me when you're there. Do you think I'm supposed to take that with kindness? Do you think I'm supposed to, appreciate that, respect that? That's degrading me. That means you are arrogant.
Hold on. Okay. But this is the issue with that idea that I have. Is that a man, let's say you meet the guy, he's not making as much money. He's in school right now. He's top of his grades, and he's gonna graduate soon, whatever. He already got a job lined up, but you don't know all of these little things about him, and you just pass this opportunity by because you can
No, I
only
wouldn't
see
pass it
that.
by.
No,
But you just said you're not gonna wait for him. I'm saying you
that's
don't
when I
know
find out,
these.
yeah.
I'm saying you don't know these certain
Okay.
aspects of this guy. I'm giving you like a scenario of a time where you might pass a guy away, saying I'm not waiting for you because you told me, oh, where you working at? Oh, you still in school? Oh, you don't have a job? Okay, no.
I don't think it's as simple as that. I think that there's a dating phase where you learn about the person and then you really scope out, can I be with this person
Can I
long
help
term?
Sochi? Can I help Sochi out a little
Yeah,
bit
but
with
would
that?
you even give them the chance
Right.
to
I
get
also
to that?
think-
If you
To get to that
find out
Give
that
you the
he's
chance,
not.
but like I said, I'm not waiting forever. I'm not giving you years.
You
You're
just
saying-
said that you wouldn't even give a person
That's
a
not your
chance.
preference,
So.
you say.
That's
It's
not my
not-
preference.
So you
no.
wouldn't
But I
give
would
them
give
a
them
There wouldn't be a
chance.
chance
So you would
there.
you or you
I
wouldn't?
would give them a chance. Yeah, the way she makes it sound like you're going somewhere. You're
I'm
a
giving
great
you a
person.
grander,
I
I'm just
said-
giving you a
Wait,
grander
listen,
perspective
there's also
of
like
it.
the
That's
situations
why.
where you are in a great position in life, right? As a woman, I'm doing really well on my own, right? And I let this man into my life who, okay, that's a specific situation that, okay, it might happen. But there are some dudes that are just really not about shit. And I bring this guy into my life and I let that energy affect me. Oh, hell no.
Then dismiss him.
That's
And
what-
that's it.
That's
Right.
what
Why
it
is
is a
she
lot of
arrogant?
times. That's why
Right.
that's not going to happen.
But why is
I mean,
she
that's
arrogant?
I don't think there's
Okay.
any arrogance behind
We didn't
dismissing
say-
him.
I didn't say
Once
that-
you
that part is not
understand that he
arrogant.
doesn't have any intention to do
Exactly,
better
'cause
for
you
you
gave
or
him a
for
chance.
himself, then dismiss him by all means necessary.
Exactly.
Like,
So you're telling me, let's say I make Oprah money. You're telling me I need to give everybody a chance.
Stedman.
No, let's just say I'm not saying I'm Oprah.
just
I'm
said
saying
his
let's say
name.
I make Oprah money. I give everyone a chance. The guy at McDonald's, the guy at the bank firm.
No,
It
no,
doesn't
no,
matter.
no, no,
Are you
no.
serious?
We're not
Anybody?
doing that.
We ain't say
We're
that.
not doing that.
That's
See,
what
but
you're
that's-
saying.
that's-
You're
no,
saying I'm
that's not.
arrogant for passing,
listen,
for not
listen.
looking at a
Listen.
certain
Let me
demographic
take
of
this one real
people.
quick.
You're being very extreme.
What are you saying?
Wait. Here's the situation. You said Call me when you get there.
Yes.
If I was a guy, I'm not calling you for shit after that.
I guess
Let me
whenever.
tell you what it is.
Nah.
After I get there, I'm looking at the people who were there when I was down.
So you
with
want
me.
me
I don't
to
want. I'm
suffer
looking at
with
her.
That's
looking at her.
That's what I'm looking for myself.
So
Because
you
I'm a
wanna ride or
person
die?
who's
You
trying
want
to
me to
ride.
ride or
I'm
die?
trying to go up.
That's what
Why
you
not?
Because you want us to ride it out for
Why
you.
not?
So why
Yeah,
not?
Ride or die then. Go
So
on.
why? So you just want to
Why?
one side?
First of all,
I'm not calling you when I get there. Like when I make it there, like if I approach a woman and she tells me when you make it in life or when you're successful, holla at me, I'm not calling you. No, because you simply ignored everything I could have offered in terms of like support, love, stability. All like I mean, maybe not financially, but all the other things I could have provided for you, you just ignored it, dismissed it. Now you want me because I'm there, I'm doing good, I'm better off. Nah, I don't want to deal with you because God forbid that goes away again. You gonna leave? Nah, I'm good.
Meet me when I'm there is not encouraging me to do anything but hang up on you and delete your number.
You want to put a number on it?
Can I get it?
Go
Can I get
ahead.
it?
Let's-
Hold up.
Priorities need to be checked.
Look. Let's say I meet you, right? I have no idea what you make or what you do for a living. No idea what your salary is. You don't have any idea of mine. I approach you the correct way. You find out I'm making minimum wage. I'm dressed nice, the whole nine. It's it's understandable that a woman wants a man who can provide and be on the same level, if not higher. But sometimes a man, there may be things that he may have went through. There may have things. You may be older than me. You may have 10 years on me, and I'm not in a place. I'm still in school, or you graduated already. So certain times you can't always have a filter with what you date.
What are your plans? What are you doing? What
I'm ambitious,
are you doing
but I'm
something?
ambitious.
Okay,
That's
that's
the
fine.
difference.
But if you're not,
to apply
but
that
if
in
you're
your
not,
day-to-day life, you have to show that.
right? When are the
But we're
results
saying the
coming?
same thing.
I don't have
We're
time.
saying the
I
same
don't
thing.
have. I'm
Guys
already
like
successful,
interesting
right?
questions.
I don't
I
have
have
time.
interesting
I don't
questions.
have time.
I would never tell a powerful woman to go and waste their time with just anybody. And this is not what we're talking about. So you want to talk? Okay, so you talk about Oprah. Let's talk about J-Lo and Casper. Let's talk about Britney Spears and.
Where is that relationship
Listen,
now,
but they were
right?
happy. They were
How
happy.
they
Nicki
doing?
Minaj and
They
Now
were
she's with a
happy.
real
They were
woman.
happy. So these are women that actually, like you said.
But they don't have
listen,
fragile
they're
egos.
Huh?
I just want
You
to
don't
point
know
that
that.
out.
You don't know that.
Well, if there's
What is
honestly,
you and the weakness then?
you said you
Right.
mentioned
Fragile
Nicki
weakness.
Minaj and whoever, if their relationship is successful, he must not have a fragile ego because she is a big personality.
But
What if she's
on
just a
the other
terrible
hand
person?
of that, what about that man that's with like the Caspers and Britney Spears'
He's have to be
boyfriend?
really
What about
secure
that
of
man
himself.
though?
Yeah.
But do you look at that man and do you like? Don't you kind of side eye him a little? Like,
Absolutely,
Like
y'all do.
damn, like.
Why are you going
Why?
with somebody like that?
Like, you letting her support
or
you?
like
I side-eye that.
But I side eye him in the best way because wow, you
must
must
be
be
amazing.
masculine
Yeah.
enough to be like,
Right.
wow, my significant other
pulled
is
it.
on
Yeah.
top.
Yeah.
You pulled that. Yeah.
Even
But y'all wouldn't
even
even
though
give a
even though I'm gonna give you a major.
That's the thing. Y'all wouldn't get that chance.
What I am going to say is people, men and women, need to at least be wary of people who have maybe who make a lower income than them and kind of leech on them. I'm going to give you the example of Britney Spears and Kevin Federline. That whole aspect of that celebrity years ago, that was major
That's what I'm
within the
talking about.
tabloids.
Yeah.
And people were seeing it. Kevin Federline, he was a backup dancer for her. They started dating, married and everything. And people were saying that he was a leech off her.
That guy was scummy.
But Britney
Yeah.
loved him to the core. So that's an example. Just be wary of, you may love that person and you may think that you're going to spend the rest of your life with them, but be wary. What are their intentions? As a man, you don't want to be a leech and you don't want to sponge off, your significant other, your woman. You have to show initiative. You have to show that, hey baby, I am bettering myself every day, through what I do. And she has to notice that too. You can't just be lazying around. I mean, I can give you so many celebrity male examples of that happening in the celebrity world and just in real life. You don't want to be the type of man that's just lazy and just sitting around waiting for your woman to just do things for you.
Well, I do have a question for you, Gerard.
Go ahead.
What if you make minimum wage, right? And you meet a successful woman? Be honest. Would you even be able to effectively date her with your income?
I'll give you that question because it's actually something I go through in life. So at the end of the day, yes, I've dated someone who makes more money than me, who is older than me actually. So with that being said, I'm a confident black man. I handle mine. I hold mine down.
What's this going on?
At the end of the
What's
day,
this
look,
over here?
I'm gonna say this. Hold on, I'm gonna say this.
And she be coming every night.
You know, you thought you had me with that question, but I'm gonna say this though. Get her. I'm a strong black man. I'm secure with mine. I'm ambitious. I know I want more. I'm going for more. I don't want to stay at the same place. I'm not, you know, at the end of the day, my mind is in the penthouse. I can't keep it in the projects. You know what I'm saying? So we both gonna make it to that level together. You know what I'm saying? It may take me longer if I'm younger or even if we're the same age. But long as she knows that mentally, physically, verbally, and spiritually I support her, that's all we need. Ambition is basically, you know, it's your determining factor. So if you're someone who doesn't have a big time job or someone who's not as successful as your spouse or, you know, your counterpart, ambition can play a lot into that because, you know, as long as you have your woman believing in you, as long as you tell them like, listen, baby, I'm in it to win it. This is for you. I'm grinding. I'm out here doing what I got to do to make us happy, to make us build, to make us grow. Then you shouldn't have anything to worry about.
This is exactly what I was saying. You guys changed your answer right now because you know this brother. He had to basically sit you down and paint the picture. But what I said before was the exact same thing. Summary. It was a brother that made less than you, but was ambitious, treated you like the #1 queen that you deserve to be treated like.
I would give him a chance.
You didn't.
No, you didn't.
You said, call me later.
No, we said
My
that that's
sister.
a different situation, and that like
You
it's
said,
worth
I ain't gonna wait
looking
for
at.
you. When you
It's
get
worth
there,
looking
call
at.
me.
It's worth looking at.
Well, let's be honest.
Yeah,
if I'm in McDonald's, I'm McDonald's Bay. Like they gonna clearly see, like, yeah,
They're gonna get the
you know
free.
what I'm saying? Come on. So it's just like, let's, you know, look.
What are you saying? What?
What I'm saying is this. You know, if I'm in McDonald's, a woman is gonna clearly be attracted to me. It's my approach after that. What I say
I like
after that.
No. From what she said, she wouldn't have. She wouldn't have given
No,
you the chance to say anything.
don't.
No,
I didn't
that's
say
not what
I
she
would
said.
write him off. Like I'm gonna look at. You can't tell someone's income from looking
wait.
at
Wait,
that.
Hold on.
remember what you
hold
said.
on, hold on.
What did I
I know.
say?
Look, what she
Yeah,
said.
you
Hold
be
on.
changing.
I
She
didn't
did
say that.
She did say that there is a time within the dating
Yeah, I just
sphere
said I'm
that
not
you
waiting
have to
years.
think about
That
it.
I'm
You
not
have
waiting
to
years
think
for
about
you
it.
to.
She did say that.
So if it took years for him to get to where he wanted to get to,
then that's where I'm like,
But
I don't think it's gonna work out.
Let's get back to like the fact
Why
that
does that
are
even matter?
successful women arrogant or not though?
Yes.
Because
They're
not all
arrogant.
of them are.
They're not
I said
arrogant.
yes,
Most of them
with
are.
reason.
With reason.
If they are arrogant, they're actually confident, not arrogant.
Yeah, it's
No,
not
There's a
arrogant.
difference to that.
There's a difference.
I believe that successful women can be arrogant, but not are limited to being arrogant. Because, you know, I think when you think of arrogance, you think of somebody who always shows off and like always like, yeah, I'm successful. I have all the great new designs and stuff like that. That's being arrogant. If you could be a successful woman and not even, you know, wear designer clothes or go shopping at Saks Fifth Avenue all the time, you know, that's perfectly
I think it's
fine.
experience.
Even if a woman can be confident in the sense of my man, I'm gonna buy you dinner right now. I'm gonna, take you on vacation, and she does that and gives me a nice, I'm gonna lay this out all for you on the line. Vacations, food, dinner. I'm gonna look at this woman and be like, wow, she is on it.
But a man has to earn that privilege.
And you also
And the man has to. A woman having the money to show her love towards her man by, taking him on vacation, gifting him in that way, that's what a relationship is supposed to be about. And then the man should be able to show his love and pamper her. And I
this is the thing,
her too.
we're gonna have to listen.
Y'all
This is
tripping,
what we
man.
need to do. Just redefine the definition of what a man is. That's what it is.
Toxic masculinity.
That-
I
no,
said it
no,
in the
no,
beginning.
don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's not what it is. That's not what it is.
But we should address that though,
Y'all
because
look
it is a
at men as bank
reality.
accounts. A lot of girls look at men as bank
Redefine.
That's true.
Yes.
And a lot of men look at women as
sex objects.
excuse me, the sex
All right,
objects,
so we're
right?
both.
So redefine.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
When you first meet a girl, the first thing, like after a while, she be like, "All right, so what do you do?"
I mean, some have both.
A lot of
I'm
times,
trying to get to know you.
Wait,
That part I understand.
wait. We in a club.
dancing, grooving.
right.
So what's good, girl?
No.
Oh, how you doing?
Nobody's having that conversation
oh,
about
yes, no. Yes, they do.
In my personal experience, in my dating experience, I'm still a student. So a lot of men and women who I've dated are always like older than me because I prefer older people. They look at me like.
Did you say woman?
Yeah.
Do we? Okay.
Yes.
We just,
No
you know,
judgment.
yes,
No
you know,
judgment.
You know, they look at me. I've been in that situation. They look at me. Oh, you're still a student. Oh my God, you're so young. You still have a lot to do. You know, you don't have like a career. Da, 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 da. And like it sucks. But you know what? I do the same thing because I wouldn't want to be, you know, successful, older, and dating a student.
Wait, a man did that to you?
Yes.
Like a man?
Yes.
I don't know. I find that hard to,
Yes.
because a lot of men don't really. We don't really like a lot
Yeah.
of like a lot of
But-
times. Here's
Successful men.
no success. here's
that
the
is
thing.
true. Successful
All right,
men
successful
do look
men,
at
yes,
that.
they
They
do.
don't want that. Not in their social circles. They don't want like.
Because you know what it is? It's not, to be honest
like-
with you, it's not even really about you. It's about
Society.
Society.
No. It's bigger than that. It's about their peers. If it was left up to them, especially with a lot of successful women, if it was left up to them, no judgment, no nothing, they will go for that guy who's making that minimum wage. Guys will go for that girl who's still in college and still working it through. But it's because of their peers and because of what their friends may say. They're like, I can't bring you around. Like I can't be. I can't be. Yeah, and a lot of
And
parents.
with the African culture,
Oh
like
my
I
God.
really want to like talk about the African culture because with parents, I
Oh
mean,
my God.
damn.
What do you do? What do you make? What is he making?
Oh, you better marry this girl. You better marry this guy.
Yeah.
Make sure that you know he's a doctor or she's
Money.
a lawyer. This and it's money with the African culture. And I know
Can
you
we
guys
blame
have a similar.
ourselves though? Because we need to be thinking about furthering ourselves.
Of course, but we have to be
socioeconomically.
thinking about. I'm spending 60, maybe a plus years with this person. Am I gonna be happy with this person when I go to bed
And that right there is a
at
true.
night?
All
the
through
true
the
Right.
1800s, all through the
Happiness.
1800s,
Are not like
white
that.
people did that. They married for, you know,
And they weren't happy.
well,
But it was
They
common.
died not.
Yeah, that
they
was
died not
common.
happy.
If you come from a very poor family, and this is a lot of people from Africa, they come from a very poor family, trying to come to the States, trying to find, as a woman, find a man that they could get married with and help so they could help their family, you know, help themselves. A lot of them stay in that relationship just because of that aspect. They're not gonna be happy. Of course, they're not gonna be happy, but they have stuff that they need to take care of.
right.
If they can't do it, you know, being somebody who's not an American citizen, you're very limited. I
I think the point he was trying to make was very important because there's a lot of people that will travel here to the United States in hopes for working, and a lot of women, especially because they have a lot of issues and family issues back home, and you know they don't have the opportunity to become successful without having to get married with a guy because they want to marry a guy that's going to help them out and help their family out.
a lot of couples don't work out because of finances.
Right.
So
That is
why
true.
would you want to go and put yourself into a situation
Like I
where
said, what's-
finances is going to be
What's the
limited?
difference with a
statistic
man
of
doing that
every
for a
single
female
thing?
though? What's the difference
Men
between
do it all
a
the
man
time.
We did
dating
say-
a woman who makes significantly less than him?
Jonathan, listen, a successful woman does not have to. I think his point was mostly about like dating down and how successful women like don't date down or like, you know, look down on others. And I think what is wrong with a successful woman wanting better for herself, wanting to progress and not wanting to be stagnated and brought down by someone who might not be on her level or be able to give her the things that another successful man or a person on her level might be able to do.
I want to flip the roles real quick. As a man, you know, who's acquired a certain level of success, you know, I'm not rich or whatever, but I'm very selective with dating. If I, you know, because it's like I know what I deserve. So at the end of the day, I can look at a woman and say, look, I know what she deserves. She might have dealt with Shaheem, and she might have dealt with this guy from whatever walk of life he was from that didn't have dogged her out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like at a certain point, you wanna get what you deserve. You want yours. I want mine as a man. So if we both have that level in the mind state to say we both gonna get it together, what's wrong?
As long as you guys are both on the same page mentally and you can have financial discussions at home, I don't see an issue with it. A lot of times if I'm rich and I'm dealing with someone who makes minimum wage, we don't think the same. Now, if they do have potential and they're working towards it,
It's true.
okay.
Why don't
It's
they?
true.
Why don't
In
y'all think it's
reality,
what?
that's
No,
true.
no, 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 no,
That
no, no,
was
no, no,
so
no, 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 no.
Mentality
I'm asking
is
for a
a
reason.
huge
I'm-
Financial literacy, are you kidding?
Statistically, women are more mature than men. Like we mature faster
That's
than men.
facts.
So
Yeah.
you
But
know,
that's
Teenage
maturity.
years.
We're talking about. We're talking about intelligence.
well, I'm not gonna talk for
Financial
all.
intelligence, more
Right.
specifically.
Yeah,
In order
intelligence
to
and
be
maturity
financially
is-
successful, you need to be on another
certain
level
limit.
So
mentally.
let me ask this question. Then. Let me ask this question.
And a
Do you
man can
think-
be that
Hold
too,
on.
Jonathan.
Let me ask this question.
Thank
then.
you.
Do you think up the ladder, as a woman reaches and propels herself into success and financial stability, do you think the dating pool of men who she's able to date becomes very short? Because you have to understand, like he said, like my brother said, Oprah's not going to meet, John working at McDonald's.
That is so true.
So at the end of the day, the dating pool is very short. I see from their standpoint because you get to a certain level where you've dated all the bums, you've dated all the guys who give you lip service, but then you get to a point where you're single, you're available, you're stable, you have all the necessary tools to get a man, but he's not there. The pool of men that you have and your success is very limited. So I agree with that. I just think that you should give love a chance and not write everyone off. It's not a generalization.
Listen, I want you guys to answer Jared's question, please. That's what I need right now.
All right. So here's the thing. There is, yes, depending on what you prefer. If that's what you prefer, then it's definitely going to be smaller. If you prefer a successful man and you're a successful woman, your dating pool is definitely going to be smaller. The idea, my dating pool is smaller, that's all the mind. That's all in the mind. It doesn't have to be that way.
There are 7 billion people.
Yes,
in the world.
if you want to give a guy a chance who's ambitious and is trying to build an empire with you or by himself, with or without you, then by me, more power to you, sister. Go for it. If you want a successful man, by all means,
that's
go
what
for
I'm
it.
saying.
Jonathan said men don't want successful women.
I'm saying this is what
I want a successful woman.
Exactly. This is not what we're talking about.
True.
But statistically, it said that a man would say, I want an intelligent woman. I want a woman who is financially dependent, who can be a strong black woman, whatever
But on
race
the
or whatever.
back row.
But what they actually want when it becomes reality and it's in front of them, they don't.
And why is that, Jonathan? Tell me.
Because, like I said, these are men, especially that come from traditional families. You always say you want someone like your mother. Usually, traditionally, the mother is the caretaker. The mother is the one who stays home, the one who goes to the PTA meetings. Like, and the crazy thing is, y'all look at it as like, oh, this man wants to control me. No, he's literally saying, hey, live your life as a beautiful mother. Take care of our children. You don't have to do anything. I'm gonna treat you like a queen and make the money. You can go out and do it. But you're taking it and like making it a negative when it
is a
really
negative.
isn't. It's not because that's
Because
their
he has
preference.
control over her life.
It's
he's
not
gonna
control.
control
It's not
every
control.
woman she does. It isn't right because me being a Moroccan Muslim and coming from a very traditional culture, also my father's Indian. So these are two cultures that believe men are the caretakers and they have control over the woman's life. They are always like, oh, you shouldn't go here. You can't do this. And I see my aunts all the time ask their husbands for money, $20. What are you going to do for he's going to question you. What are you going to do $20? My aunts were married off really young due to that's the culture. So they had to depend on their men for everything. A lot of the times, my aunt would ask her husband for $20 and he would ask, why do you need $20? For what? And she would have to explain herself, and I hated that about my aunts. And, depending on a man for money and just something as small as $20, I can't see myself do that at all.
But
Whoever has the
Can I say
money
something
has
about
the
my
control.
family? Can I say something about my
Yes,
family?
absolutely.
My family. My dad is Nigerian. My mom is Ethiopian Eritrean. My mom is probably one of the most intelligent women I've ever met in my entire life. Literally growing up, straight A's, knows 6 languages fluently. My father was in the insurance business. There was a test that he could not pass. My mom literally took it once, studied, and passed it. And because of that, he used her as for the certificate. There was in no way that he felt like he wasn't man enough, and there was no way where she was like, "Oh, I'm too, I'm the boss here, like, and I can't deal with this man," because they raised amazing children and provided
Well,
for
your
us, and that's
father's
because she
intelligent.
gave him that chance.
Yeah, your father's secure of himself. There's a lot
Exactly,
of men
but-
that are not secure of themselves that will allow that to happen.
Well, look, I'll always say this, like, I'm African American, so coming from a household with just my mother, she told me, son, long as it makes you happy, love who you want to love. That's the basis of it all. You know, it doesn't matter if they're making 6 figures, 20,000 a year, if they're broke, homeless, whatever the case is. If they make you happy, that's what you should stand on, because at the end of the day, you can't take your money with you. You can't take your house, your cars. You can't take any of these things with you.
I agree with you.
You have to stand on something, which is love.
I agree with you. I grew up in a
Sometimes
household
you
that
need
my
more
mother
You need more
told
than
me.
love, that's true.
I grew up in a household, my mother told me if a man could do it, a woman can do it better. So,
That was cute.
you know, cool.
Jared, why are you
Well, I-
laughing? That comment was real, Jared. Why are you laughing at it?
Because, look, I think that-
if a man can do it, a woman can do it better.
You're right.
And that's true. That's
But see, don't
fact.
you think? But listen, don't you
That's
think that's?
facts. No,
but
that's
listen,
facts.
don't you think that's part of?
facts.
But listen, don't you think?
have
Hold on,
to
Jarrell. Don't you
build
think
a
that's part of the
house.
problem though?
That
Because,
works. You can't do the same thing
because-
as me.
but what
and-
you're saying is, look, don't you think that's part of the problem? A female not knowing her role and up against a male. I'm not saying, look,
no,
hold
you
on,
did
hold on.
it.
Yeah, he said it. What
Hold on.
And what?
What?
Hold on.
What's my role?
I'm
What's
not
the
saying,
role?
look, we ain't gonna do the whole, I'm a man, listen to me. Nah, we ain't doing that. What I'm saying is, as a woman, your femininity, nowadays too many women are trying to be men so much that it's like they forget.
Because men are lying.
But at the same time,
They don't have the right definition to you.
she is cute. But no, I mean, look, I meant by that, like, it's just sometimes the roles are very diluted, it's very, we, in this day and age, we don't really know what masculinity is, we don't know what femininity is. We look at it based upon what we see on TV, Instagram, Facebook. We don't really know the true definition of it, Most of us, such as myself, didn't grow up with a father. So if you asked me 10 years ago, if you even asked me today, the answer may always change because it's like I'm growing as an individual. So I think it was a little miscommunication there.
So what about
Women
women
can
pass up
definitely
girls
be
because they're not hot enough?
on.
Are you arrogant?
That's
That's
preference.
shallow. I mean,
Yeah,
that's shallow.
That's
So,
shallow.
for a man, it's shallow. For a woman, it's
Listen,
arrogant.
we're not
Got
looking
it.
down on you.
But
No,
that's-
listen,
Wait,
that's
listen.
that's the difference.
Is your
We're not
arrogance a male quality? Is arrogance a male
No,
quality?
because I
or
said
not?
that
I
y'all are
believe so.
arrogant. Women are arrogant.
That's a human
Listen,
being
when a
quality.
man passes
you're
a girl
only
because
calling
listen,
her
when a
that
man
because
passes a
she's
girl
acting
because she ain't got the
masculine.
ass or she's not attractive,
Yeah.
that's because that's my preference. I don't think she's
Okay,
cute.
and my
But I'm not
preference-
saying, to your mother for even giving birth to you. But y'all, I don't know that. Like
what's
what
next
women
words?
do,
Watch
what women do
watch
to men
words.
who aren't making enough money or not on the same status, who you cannot bring to your homegirls. You're like, oh nah, I don't up with that. Like that's
I hear the
arrogant.
conversations.
That's
I hear the
arrogant.
conversations. I know what
How
it
is
is.
that not arrogant?
I don't.
You're
hear
looking
those
down on somebody.
I hear those
conversations.
conversations.
I wouldn't say
At the
that.
end of the
Maybe
day,
it's
saying like, hey, I can't do this.
yeah.
I can't do this with
We're
you.
not looking
Say
down on
you
that.
have preferences.
Preference is okay. You can love to want a successful man. That is fine. But when you look
It's about
down
what
on a
you
man who
want.
is trying to
Who's
come up,
looking down on anyone?
many women. Let's be
Who's
real.
doing that?
We're not being real.
They're like, oh yeah, I'm in this position, but you didn't get here. This is a man-dominant situation,
Oh,
but
yeah,
you're not
right.
here.
And you
What are
ain't
you
here.
doing?
You
What you
also
doing
have to
wrong?
realize women will have to work twice as hard as men.
And what did I say in the beginning? I said in the beginning, successful women are arrogant with reason.
Exactly.
There's a reason
We've been
behind
said
it.
that.
So it's not about what the
Do
question
they
is whether
have
it's
to be arrogant?
no, they
No,
don't
you
have
don't.
because
You're blocking your blessings.
listen. You
What's
have to
the reason?
understand with that
What
power.
is the reason?
What's the reason for
What
what?
is
For them
the
being
reason?
arrogant? The reason being is that, listen, a lot of women, they have to work twice as hard to even get into a position that's male dominant. So when they get to that position, they're like, they it's like a self-elevation, like, oh, yes, I've gotten here. Now,
That's confidence, though.
it can be, but here's where the arrogance, here's where the, wait,
Listen.
wait.
I'll tell you where it comes
Yeah, wait. Here's where the arrogance come in. When you now meet a man who's not in that position as you look, the way you look at him is, what are you doing? Why are you not there? Why are you not where I am? Why?
We don't do that.
Another thing that's really
do
making
that.
me think,
No, we
though,
don't.
is why are we discussing a successful woman? in the same conversation as a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, why can't she just be as she is? Why does it always need to be discussed as, oh,
Yeah.
well, I need a man. What kind of man can I get? Like, who cares?
Because
I should force
should be
find my
answering
man
that.
millionaire.
It doesn't end with, like I said, I've heard these
Who cares
conversations.
about if a man is going to be
Listen,
there?
I heard this conversation
care.
1,000 times between women. It doesn't just end with, all right, well, you know, because let's be real, y'all playing it safe right now. Let's be 100. Let's keep it a stack.
Absolutely.
It doesn't end with,
What
you
do
know
you
what,
mean?
he ain't really making that much, so I guess I just can't do it. That's me personally. I hear the bashing, the name calling, all of that.
And when you pass up on girls, it's not arrogance.
No.
Like I don't know how.
Because you're not looking down on the girl.
You're just like,
Of course, there
We
are
don't
some.
look down
Listen,
on
of course,
guys.
there are.
We're just not
Well,
settling.
look, there are some men that are
Right.
arrogant. Of course, if you come from a
look
rich
down on
family,
looks.
if you,
That's the thing,
That's not
though.
looking down on looks. That's saying
You're
that's
like,
not
oh,
my
this
preference.
girl's not cute. Oh, she doesn't have the,
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Girls
What is
do
that?
the same shit.
Hey, y'all do the same
Yeah,
thing, but y'all
but
do
we're-
it about our social status.
Oh, so are we agreeing that you're just as arrogant?
Yes.
No, there are some men that are arrogant.
If anything-
There are, of course. I'm not
It's a
going to
human
say that.
problem.
I'm not
It's a
going to say
human
it's a
problem.
human problem. I'm not going to say that. But the conversation is: are successful women arrogant? And
No.
yes.
Your definitive answer is yes.
And I think
We understand that.
At the end of the day, I look at it like this: if I meet a woman and she's arrogant and she exudes this, way about her that she's better than me, maybe God is saying, hey, listen, it's a blessing in disguise that you rejected me, and I'm gonna move on to the next, and I'm gonna find a woman who does appreciate me, where I'm at, what I'm making, and the love I got to give.
Y'all gonna be
You know what I'm
lonely.
saying? So that's it.
I'm just playing.
That's just me
I
though.
think that's what's important to me.
Yeah.
though. You think
Right.
that that's what's gonna like?
for-
make
don't
you
start
a
that.
nice-
Don't
Listen, most
Don't
women it
start
is
that.
important.
I
Let's be
don't
real.
mean that. I
Most
don't
women
mean
do
that.
want
I think
relationships.
I'm tired of
I think China's
I'm tired of that lie. Y'all lying to yourself
Look,
all the time.
most women
for
do
dumbass
want
points.
relationships. Let's be real.
Stop it.
Y'all are
it's
y'all are a rare
it's
breed.
2019.
Apparently,
Yeah.
like
It's
no,
2019.
look at her smile.
No, I'm serious.
So
I'm
you're
serious.
okay?
I
You're
feel-
okay with being single forever?
If I'm successful and I have
Keep me
everything
warm
that
at
I want
night.
and I have people that love me, it's not so much about being in a relationship. If I have a tribe, if I have a family, if I have community and I'm good, single,
My job is
No.
so
Y'all lying.
satisfying.
Y'all lying.
no.
My issue with Sochi is what half of the women's panel were liars. They were playing it safe. I'll give Jarrell, a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. She did show her true colors when she said she would want to train a man, which makes no sense. But the fact that they were trying to say that I would give this man a chance, because Sochi definitely didn't say that at first, but she swears up and down that I said, oh yeah, I'm gonna give him a chance. I will give him a chance. We're dating. I was like, at first you said you wouldn't even get to the point of dating.
If I don't believe that all successful women are arrogant. I believe that if she has this characteristic of looking down at individuals because of where they are financially, then she can be called arrogant. I don't think we should just title her that automatically.
What if you meet somebody else within that time frame, though, that is on your level? Are you going to pass up that guy that's working on
Absolutely not.
themselves?
Give me more. I need more context. It's not just that
So,
simple.
so if you're dating a guy that say
So there's two guys.
Yeah, yes,
Okay.
there's two guys, and
got
the
options.
one guy that you pass up is kind of building his career up, is
Okay.
working a really low income
And how is he
job.
as a person?
Great, caring, loving, and
I like
everything
that.
in between. But then within that time frame, hey, call me back when you get to the level that I need you to be on. That guy who kind of has everything that you're looking for is also
paper.
caring
On paper.
on paper. For example, loving, caring, has that great job. You guys start dating and you see that fulfillment coming. Are you gonna pass up that first guy over
So-
the
Yes.
second guy?
Yes,
What
I
are you
would.
gonna choose?
I would choose.
What about
Well,
that?
as long
And
as
don't want
second
to-
guy-
as long as I'm being
Ladies.
treated, because you said the second guy makes a lot of money and he treats me well, right? That's the guy I'm gonna go with. What's so funny?
You're funny.
Why?
Look, there was a point in time, like today, when
20
my
minutes
sister,
ago.
right, was looking at you like, because of what you said. You literally said you would not give that person a chance, but like now you're really
I would
changed.
give him a chance, but he said he treats me well. If you're
I said that too. Why would I say that a person with a lower status did not treat you
put
well?
you on
I
a
said I
pedestal.
don't want to
He said-
build.
Right, I said he put you on a pedestal.
I said I don't want to build with someone if I have to wait years for you to get up to my level.
So what's your yearly limit?
Like
Yearly limit?
Yeah, what is
Time
it?
limit?
Yeah.
2 years, 1 year, 6 months.
You say
lot
years,
can
so you
happen
gonna
in
give
a year.
years?
What?
A lot
No, I'm not gonna give years.
But here's the
No,
thing.
I won't.
In that situation,
Not
here's
a
the
year?
thing. You don't need
A
nobody.
year, maybe, but
Look,
not
you don't
years.
So what's the
Not
status
years.
they need to be at? They have to be exactly equal as you?
No, but they have to be pretty close.
We have to get down to the question: are arrogant, successful women capable of love?
Yes, they are.
Anyone is capable.
Yes.
of that.
Anyone
They
is,
are.
but you have to change, like I said, redefine what our roles are, redefine what a male is, redefine what a female is. That's what we
Okay,
need
that's
to do.
Work on males
Yeah,
having
let's
a
agree on
strong
that.
And we have to
ego
work
and-
on women not looking down on males who don't meet them statistically.
So we have to work on
gotta
men
work.
as well,
Exactly.
not looking down on women.
That's what I'm saying.
To wrap up, what we're saying is, you think they're arrogant. I don't think successful women are arrogant, but I think as a human race, we are all arrogant, and we need to treat people with
That's right,
respect,
yeah.
regardless of their economic status.
I agree.
Amen.
No
Right?
wrong with that.
I mean,
Just agree with us.
Just agree with
There
us.
it
Thank
is.
you.
Thank you, sis. Thank you, Queen. Thank you, Queens.
Thank you, King.
Appreciate
Thank you,
that.
Kings.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
We love y'all though.
Thank you.
And what I personally want in my life is someone who is at my level or higher. I personally don't see myself dating down on the socioeconomic level. I just couldn't. I would have a hard time looking at my partner in the same way. I just would.
if a man is not at the same level financially as me, I could be with him if he falls under certain categories. Like if he's making up for it in other places, and if he shows me enough ambition and enough determination to better himself.
The women felt that when I said, listen, you need to change the type of men that you're looking for. When I said that, they felt like I'm saying they need to settle. Settling is settling with a man who would not put you first, who essentially you will be putting yourself second. I said, go for a man just because he's in lower status, a lower economic status, is not at your level financially yet. That's not settling.
Thanks for watching, and if you liked this episode, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you next time.